So now I'm in oncology. They explained to me that methotrexate has some side effects, not really, that I should be fine, I should be good to go to work. And started off on one week injection. So I was getting methotrexate once a week in the butt. And the first thing I experienced was just that first day was just like stomach aches, the feeling of like wanting to throw up, but not actually throwing up, so just nausea. But mostly a lot of stomach cramps, a lot. And I started calling out. Um, I started to call out. My hair texture wasn't necessarily falling out yet, but it within the first 2 weeks, the first two shots, my hair became like brittle. It was like it wasn't soft anymore. It wasn't silky. It started becoming very dry. Was the first thing that I noticed, and the stomach aches continued. I actually started throwing up by the second injection, so I was throwing up not as much, but at least very little, and I slept. I was exhausted no matter how much sleep I got. I was just so tired. I have 3 kids. I worked full time. I moved to part time. And I started getting help with my kids from my mom. And aside from feeling, I could say emotional, but I remember just feeling like like a failure almost to my kids, to my husband. I was no longer able to clean as much. I slept. I was sick. I didn't feel good. I feel like it just sucked the joy, the happiness, the energy out of me. And it's just my numbers were dropping slow. Um, this went on for 4 months. 4 months. And I kind of gave up. Like I just got by then my hair was falling out. I was in the 20s. Like, I mean, I got down to 20, you guys, and my numbers would go from 21, 20, 21, 20. And then they told me that maybe we're going to do the port. We're going to input a chest port to give you methotrexate because we feel like it'll bring you down quicker if we install a port in your chest. So I had to wait 2 weeks. Got the surgery to place the port, which I still have. It was placed here. So during those 2 weeks, my levels went back up. What happened was that I became resistant to methotrexate. So when I returned after the 2 weeks, they started giving me methotrexate, and my kidneys were not doing so well. My all my blood work was just not looking good. It was messing up my liver. I had gained 30 pounds. Um, Basically, I became resistant. I became resistant to methotrexate for being off of it for 2 weeks. During this 2 week period, I began to feel like I just couldn't do it anymore. I was tired of feeling like crap. We were now starting to dig into our savings. I had just got the job as a clinical supervisor. I had just started 3 weeks prior to my diagnosis. I wasn't there long enough to collect FMLA or leave. I didn't qualify for disability because they didn't know if it was going to be a year long. And everything that we had worked so hard for just started going out the drain. So we started arguing, me and my husband, a lot of financial stress, and I just felt like it was all my fault. By this time I'm feeling insecure. I'm 30 pounds heavier. I'm feeling like a burden to my husband. I have 3 children who I'm supposed to be caring for as her mother, and I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I had them taking care of me, and to see my 8-year old at the time help me with her little brother and her little sister, who were 4 and 1 at the time, to have her help me was just, I was grateful, but as a mom, I'm supposed to be taking care of them. And as an 8-year old, I can imagine how much stress was on her. You know, her dad was working 12 hours a day trying to keep us afloat. We have a mortgage, cars, and we came to a point to where we decided, do we pay for the roof over our head, or we let go of one of the cars? We got a car repossessed because we couldn't make that payment, so we got down to one car. I would have to get up at 4 in the morning to drop him off at work so I can use a car to take the kids and go to treatment. And I didn't want to do it anymore, but I couldn't imagine not being here. The doctors called my husband and they said, hey, is Lydia going to come in for her to see what we're going to do for her treatment? And he's like, oh, she hasn't gone in. They're like, no, we've tried to call her. She doesn't return their calls. My husband had no idea. I had told them that I was going to treatment, but I would just go spend the day at the mall, spend the day at the spa. And during those 2 weeks that I did that, I remember the kids and my husband saying, like, oh, you're looking so much better. You feel so much better. You're so much happier. Like, I think your body got adjusted. Little did they know I wasn't returning their calls. And so my husband found out at that point and was like, what are you doing? And I just felt I was scared. I was scared. I was tired. And, I just needed a break, and that they wouldn't understand. Because I tried asking for a break. I needed time in between. I couldn't do it. And I felt like no one would listen. Like, you're fine. Or, my hair would fall out and they'll be like, your hair will grow back. It's just hair. But unless you're going through that, you feel like you're losing a part of yourself. And I remember not being able to even look at myself in the mirror. I would take a shower and just not look. I didn't look at myself, and I barely do now. I'm still adjusting. Well, I went on and I became resistant, and we started Acti, and Acti kicked my ass. I mean, I thought the side effects were bad for me before, but after that first appointment, I felt sick instantly. 30 minutes after, I was vomiting the whole way home. I was losing hair by chunks. And I remember throwing myself, walking into the door after I got out of chemo, walking into my parents' door to pick up my kids, and just dropping to the ground. Like, I wept like a baby. I wept. I had a full-on panic attack. My mom they put me in the shower. My mom sat on her shower floor with me and held me. As I just cried, I was terrified. At this point, I felt like I can't do this much longer. And this is really bad. And I'm scared. And it's not fair. I went on to do Acti for 4 months until I came to the hard decision of opting for a hysterectomy, a full hysterectomy. I couldn't do it anymore. And I was fighting between my life and wanting more children, and I wanted more children. Not saying I'm not grateful for the 3 that I have, but I wanted my children. We did the hysterectomy February 2023. This is after 1 year of chemo, methotrexate, Acti, 1 year of hell. I got the hysterectomy, and I was fine. I went home. Everything was great. I didn't think too much about the baby not having any more kids. It hadn't hit me yet. And then the due date came around initially of what when the baby would have been born if I would have not had the molar. And then it hit me. I realized I wasn't ever going to feel that again. Um, I wasn't ever going to be pregnant, feel a child. And my brother's wife at the time came out, and just that timing, it was rough. She just happened to be pregnant, and I just remember them feeling scared to tell me. And I felt awful that they felt like they couldn't celebrate. And I'm just here to say, that 15% chance that they tell you of it turning into cancer and acne and having to have a hysterectomy. It happened to me. And I was part of that. And never in my wildest mind did I even know what a molar pregnancy. I had never heard of a molar pregnancy. And never did I imagine it would end up in a full hysterectomy. As you see now, I'm a year 20, I can even count. 2023, it's 2025 now. And my hair has grown this much since then. I completely had lost all my hair. So it has grown. I haven't been able to lose any of the weight because of the hysterectomy. So I went into early menopause, and that's a whole nother story in itself, you guys. No one explained to me what menopause really was. I was like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna have heat flashes, and it's I just wish I would have been strong enough to continue the acne and not be put into early menopause. I filed for divorce in those beginning stages because of all the stress. Thank God we were able to work things out and we didn't go through with it, but I was under a lot. I didn't know who I was. I'm still struggling to find myself. But I didn't want anyone to see me at my weakest. I felt ugly. I felt useless. I felt like he could go on and have another family, and I couldn't give him that. It's just I was going through a lot, and I filed for divorce, and we've worked it out, and we're here, and we're doing great. But man, I just wish I had somebody who understood at that time. I wish I had somewhere to go, someone who could relate, someone who just knew. Um, there's so much more to the story, and I will continue to make videos to talk about some of those serious moments and get more in depth with detail. But I just wanted to do a brief intro to my videos of my journey. So yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm hoping to get better at this, but I just wanted to get it out and get those jitters out and be able to kind of touch up on it, and hopefully I can bring you guys some comfort and understanding, and I'm here. And you got this, and it's scary, and you're not alone.